Hey friends, welcome back to Cohesion Through Chaos. It's me, Dale, and um I want to run through a video that I saw. It's the notes that I had taken on a video that I had watched 2 months ago, and I wanted to put it on the channel because it was so simple and I really struggle with like breaching through and pushing my boundaries to places that I haven't been to before, okay, within myself. And so I wanted to give you a really easy guide that we can work on this together if you want. But it's based on a video that I watched about 2 months ago, and it's your 6 month glow up guide using psychology by Camia Tiara. So I will post the video if I can. I will include her video in it because the way that she presents the information is just the way that I like it. It's like simple action steps and it's experiments that prove why it works. Okay. So, in order to like kick this off, I asked myself a question: what do I want to accomplish, but would be surprised if I actually did? Okay. Because I know what I am capable of when I'm working for others, but I know what I am capable of like walking away from when I'm just working for myself. Right. It's like I can establish a really strong foundation and a strong idea of what I want. And then we all do this, right? Then something gets in the way of it. Maybe some people just don't even do these things, but I have felt like my energy has been taken from me for years, like where I used to be such a determined, stubborn minded person and I would just go for it. But also, that's very heavy in my masculine energy. And I've really been trying to transition into my feminine energy, okay? Or at least have a good balance between them because it created so much destruction in my life to just like hardcore go for things and be stubborn and be like, nah, it doesn't matter what signs I'm seeing around me that this probably isn't meant for me or like this person's taking advantage of me. It's like, no, I'm going to do the thing, right? Because it matters to me to be this strong and, to have done these things. And so I am constantly going through this process of just feeling like I am stuck in this energetic bubble of like where I can see where I am meant to be. I can see what I enjoy doing. I can see what type of, like the type of work that I like doing. And I put myself out there for those things and it's not coming back to me. So something is going on and I'm trying to work through all stages of barriers that I have not overcome before. Okay. This whole process is like a real delicate balance because you have to figure out what to give into because really there's no one way to do anything. It's like if you're so rigid about it that you're not leaving room for miracles, then you're still not approaching it with an energy of abundance. You're approaching it with an energy of like lack or I'm not good enough. So I have to like stabilize myself on somebody else's diet plan or workout plan or whatever. So this is what I would encourage you to do is develop your own strategy for what feels good to you and what works for you. And I would say to make sure to include um, your reward days, like how you would want to be rewarded as a child, like days that you get to just go and enjoy ice cream, days that you get to sleep in as late as you want. Okay. Things like that. That's like the body, the mind, and the spirit really enjoy those transitions because it allows you to flow with your like natural self instead of just flowing on somebody else's timeline that's not going to work for you. Okay. So even though this is somewhat of a rigid structure, it still leaves room for you to be the artist of your own life. Okay. So lock in for 6 months and shock them all. And that was like the quote from her video. And it's not really about yeah, you might shock people as you're going through the process because you're like saying no to things that you would normally say yes to. Really what's going to shock you is how easily you get into it and how easily you overcome things that you haven't before because you were thinking about them rather than just putting the effort in to do it. So let's just talk about the first 2 month phase, okay? Because she breaks it down into three different phases. And the only one that matters right now is phase one, okay? This is a 2 month process to stabilize and remove the noise, all right? Because if you don't do that first, you are not going to be able to establish who you are in the process. If you're listening to what other people are saying, if you're listening to influences that are coming in from all around you, it's going to mimic your own voice, and it's going to make you think that it's okay for you. Like, you give yourself permission to do what the voices around you are saying is okay. I'm telling you, those voices, they will always be there, but you will not always be in the same situation unless you let everybody else tell you what to do with your life, okay? So just know that once you make these little steps of ascension that are important to you, you can always have those things once you're in that ascended level, okay? So stabilize and remove the noise for your own good. Just try it for like a few days and see if you don't feel better, okay? Before you officially assign yourself to this thing if you choose to do it. But why not? You're going to be somewhere 6 months from now, right? So why not try to navigate it better for yourself? Be the captain of your own ship, all right? So the goal is getting your nervous system to accept change. There are all kinds of people that say habits take this amount of time or whatever. The habit takes as long as it takes for your neural pathway to accept the new change, because neurons that fire together wire together. All right. So you need to establish a habit. You've got plenty of habits. I trust me, you've got plenty of habits because I know I do, but they're unconscious habits. So what you're trying to do is make all of your habits conscious towards a goal that you want. And like I said, for my goal, it was, what do I want to accomplish? But I would be surprised if I actually did it, because based on my history, there's certain things I've wanted to accomplish for years and haven't done them, or I've started them and not finished them. Okay. So we need to take time to get our nervous system to accept the change. So, what I have been doing is, whether or not I officially started this 2 month process or not, I've been doing it for like the past 10 days. Okay. I went back and I watched the video again, and I'm like, "I I have so much room for improvement." Because I have, like, nothing on a schedule right now, because I've really been intentionally doing that during the summer because we're on summer break. So, all but there are certain things that I do throughout my day pretty much on the regular, and so it was very easy for me to say, "Okay, well, let's just establish a regular alarm clock wake up time, okay?" And then the first thing that I do after the alarm clock goes off is either write in a journal, or I take time in silence to think about what was going on in my dreams, and what what other intrusive thoughts are going on. So sometimes I give myself time to sit with that, and other times it's just like, write real quick, and then I just get down on the floor and do 20 girly push-ups. What do you call them? Alternate push-ups, like where you do the push-ups from your knees, because I get the number in my mind of, like, I want to be able to do this many push-ups. And what I'll do is I'll do regular push-ups, but I haven't been doing them on the regular in a long time. And so it's not that my form isn't good. My form will be okay, but my strength is not there to support that form. And so what will start to happen is I will get lower back pains, I'll get hip pain. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not setting myself up for failure in the process of doing this. All right. So yeah, so I do that. I do my 20 like assisted push-ups by doing them on my knees and practicing perfect form. And then I take my dog for a half-hour walk. Okay. And that is the non-negotiable thing. Okay. So number one is cut out 1 to 2 hydrating habits. Now, I kind of I have already really gone through that process, but what I've been trying to get better at and haven't really established a foundation to it yet is, what more to cut out. And it would be time spent consuming things instead of producing things, okay? So that's going to be something that I am going to try to improve, as I continue along this path. But step number 2, non-negotiable rituals, that I have established, okay? So, like I said, you can flavor this recipe however you want to, but the girl who created this video, um, that I originally saw, she was doing it very by the books based on psychology, and she talked about experiments that proved these theories true. So I highly recommend going and watching the actual video just so you can see where I got it from. All right, so number 1 cutout 1 to 2 hydrating habits. Number 2, non-negotiable rituals. Number 3, audit your digital space and mental inputs. And that's pretty obvious, okay? What are you watching on your phone, on your tablets? Like stupid emails, all these things. Like, do you really need to do it all, or is there a better way to do it? You know? Then your mental inputs, it's not just what you're consuming on your digital devices. It's like, who are you talking to? Like, do you need to take more time away from certain people who feel draining to you? Or a person where you guys just talk about the things that you want to do, but you never action on them? Surprise them and, like, actually put yourself through this process so that people can trust you on your word. But more importantly, so you can trust yourself on your word. So, you know what? The 1 to 2 hydrating habits that I have cut out are not having a sleep time and not having a wake up time, because that really drains the hours from the day. Okay. That's really imperative. So, I guess I have done that step in terms of like establishing my non negotiable rituals where I go to sleep, maybe not specifically at 11 o'clock, but the goal is to be asleep or ready to fall asleep by 11 o'clock and to wake up at 5:55, because 5 is the number for change. And so I like that. And then the fourth thing to do is to create a baseline week. Now, each thing is supposed to take about 2 weeks within each phase, so that each phase takes 2 months. Okay. So when you're creating a baseline week, you're establishing your routines of how you would ideally want them, but you really should establish them on physical calendar that you can see. Or if you really want to do it on your phone, if you're somebody who really likes that kind of stuff, then do it on your phone, because it's best to set yourself alarms that are congruent with that baseline week, right? So if it's like I wake up at this time, I'm definitely going to set an alarm for that. If you're supposed to go to sleep at this time, you set yourself an alarm for that. If you're supposed to take a shower, but and then there's all these other biohacking measures that go into the process of health. So it's like, look into certain things that help you establish a good sleep schedule, or help you establish, uh, if your goal is to take walks in the morning or work out in the morning, then you have to put yourself to sleep in an outfit that you're ready to hop up and do that thing in. Okay. Or like have your shoes nearby you, make sure that your notebook is right nearby you. Always set yourself up for the next thing that you want to do before you walk away from whatever you're doing in the moment, okay? Because it's going to be so much easier. The hardest thing that I struggle with is that if the thing is not out, right? It's like I want to work on paintings, but because I organize them all into bins. I organized all of my crafty stuff and all the things that I want to do into bins. Well, that was like a step one process that was done last month. Now I need to establish a time in which the I am going to take out the thing that I want to work on and set it out for myself. So then I am setting myself up for success for the next thing that I'm going to do. Okay. So you can establish this however you want when it comes to what you want and what you want to do. But right now, just lock in on what phase one is. And the goal is getting your nervous system to accept change. Okay. So the sooner that you get onto a routine and start eliminating things that are wasting your time or money, then the easier it is to actually be that person by the end of 6 months who enjoys the routine that you're on, enjoys waking up early because there's something to look forward to, enjoys going to bed because then you don't have to worry about the struggle of like eating things that you might want to eat, but you're not supposed to. That is really the benefit of going to bed. Is like, okay, if I get to hurry up and go to sleep now, then I've eliminated any areas of where I can screw up today. Okay, and that's really what you want to do. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this is insightful for you. And I hope it just gives you some clear little boundaries that you can work with. Okay. Oh, did I show the board? I actually put it out on a whiteboard for you. Okay. So take the time to look at this if you want to screenshot it and base something that you want to work on with this schedule. So my question to myself was, what do I want to accomplish? But would be surprised if I actually do it. Okay. And I know what those things are. So I sent myself a text about what I accomplished over the past 6 months. Okay. You send it to yourself or you write it as if you've already done it. So I did that. All right. Phase one is just to remove noise and stabilize yourself. And the whole point is to Get your nervous system to accept change. All right. And the only way to get your nervous system to accept change is to like reiterate a habit every day. All right. So if you're trying to get rid of one and then start something new, then you have to really commit to yourself. Just commit to 5 days a week. All right. Just try that. All right. So cut out 1 to 2 hydrating habits, establish a non negotiable ritual or routine, audit your digital space and mental inputs, and create a baseline week. Okay. So, this again, this is like a 2 week process to get used to it so that once you step into phase two, you really are setting yourself up for success instead of failure. And phase two and phase three are really just the same things, just on a deeper level. All right. Your achievement is to stabilize your launch pad. And there you are, this happy little rocket that is ready to blow up and glow up. All right. Okay. I'll see you in the future.